All right, we're not talking about step bro. I'm saying from the birth canal. All right, they blood in the veins. You know that red shit. They are real cousins, and he has proof. And I'm gonna be honest, it gets real depraved real quick. And you're just like, oh my god, because well, boys, today is tomorrow. Kay Vertus? Kay Vert? Catalina. There you go. Is in the bowl. Now, the reason why this woman is in the bowl today is because she cheated on her long-term boyfriend with her blood relative. And essentially, this man was so heartbroken whenever he found out. He had too much evidence, all right? I'm gonna be honest, it's disgusting a lot of evidence this man had. This man went to the internet and exposed her. Now, if you don't know who Kate Vertus is, she is a Streamer University alumni. She went to Kaizen at Streamer University, and she made quite the name for herself. She was doing content with Your Rage. You already know why Your Rage was doing content with her. She was one of his quote-unquote little sisters. I don't think he realized that she had a boyfriend. But she was doing content with Your Rage and all these other big female streamers. She was doing some numbers, right? She was doing some numbers. And then she randomly one day, last week, stopped streaming. And then this man, Kenneth, decided to expose her. So Kenneth told the story of how he found out that this woman, Kay Vertus, was cheating on him because he was walking by the bathroom, they lived together, and he heard her on FaceTime while the shower head was running, right? She was supposed to be taking a shower, and she was talking about, yeah, you see these gains, them gym gains. He was like, oh, showing off some muscle. And then she said, yeah, you see these yeeks? Brother, she was showing full yeeks. It was like, okay, wait a minute. Gym gains, all right. Yeeks, all right, you ain't showing your mom, your dad, your brother, your auntie, your mammy. You ain't showing no one your ass on FaceTime while the shower is supposed to be running.
So it was like last week or maybe like last week and a half, bro. I was like literally in the crib. She was taking a shower or whatever, bro. Really quick though, here's some filler information, bro. So lately, bro, I've been noticing she's always on FaceTime with this nigga, bro. And it's her cousin, bro. She's always on FaceTime with her cousin. But it's like, what normal person would think that's weird? Like that's her cousin. Like, I thought it was on some normal ass shit. Like, I guess I didn't realize that they were sleeping on the phone together. That every time I would come near her, she would go on mute or whatever. But that's not the point. She was in the shower and I heard her talking on FaceTime. So that was like a red flag. So I walked near that restroom. Like, this is my restroom. Then there's like another room and another restroom over there. I walked near that restroom. The doors are locked, which was also suspicious because why are you locking the doors? But I heard her say the word gains, as in like gym gains. And I heard yams come out her mouth. And once I heard that, I'm like, who are you on FaceTime with? And why are you talking about yams, my nigga? So basically, I have like a little cat litter box, but it's like a AI advanced $900 litter box that has a camera for some reason, and it's in her restroom. So I was able to connect to that and I basically seen her at the mirror of her restroom with her phone plopped up. The FaceTime shit was on, her camera was on, and she was on FaceTime just showing straight yams to that. Like, I'm talking about 360s in the camera, grabbing yams, just everything, bro. Just butt ass naked, bro. And at that moment, bro, my heart sunk, bro. I was like, damn.
I feel bad for bro. I ain't even gonna lie. This is diabolical. Again, chat, this isn't like she cheated on him with like another random dude. We talking about blood in the veins. First cousins, first division draft. They knew each other from being children. Like, chat, my girl, you could have found anyone. Look at her, right? She's a very beautiful woman, right? Very beautiful little light-skinned woman. She could have found anyone. This man would have been like, if you cheated on me with, I don't know, anyone else, it would have been like, all right, at least that makes sense. She was just trying to find someone else. It's still bad. Bro, I don't know how you can recover from cousin. Like, that's a whole different type of, I don't trust you no more. Like, I just don't trust people anymore. Like, that kind of scar, this don't go away. You just can't get away. It's like, you can't even trust your own girlfriend to be faithful with you around her cousin. This is some damn sweet home Alabama type of shit, bro. Like, what? So obviously he had to get the proof, all right, even though he sees her shaking her ass to her cousin on FaceTime. He was just like, what were they texting each other? So then he was able to get her phone, and essentially he went through her phone, and he was just like, oh my God. Chat. Please, put your food down. Put your food down. I'm going to read off some of these messages to you, all right? Just letting you know, again, blood cousins are talking to each other like this. It's nasty. It's nasty work. Real disgusting work here, all right? It's real nasty work. I'm just letting you know.
She just cheated on me. But that's not how it ended, though. I'm not gonna lie, bruh. Because I didn't want to make it seem like I knew and I caught her and she was gonna try to play victim. So I walked up to her room. I knocked on the door. I was like, let me see your phone real quick. I grabbed her phone and I noticed her like grabbing that but not really grabbing it in like a way where like she made it obvious she was hiding something. So I just grabbed it and sped walked to my room, and then I locked my door. And that's when she started banging on my door saying, Kenneth, open the door, give me my phone.
Chad, the messages of doom. No matter what happens, we can't have any hidden resentment or bad feelings that could fuck over our bond up. By the way, she's talking to her cousin, by the way. If we go through a breakup or some, obviously it might not feel good, but no matter what, we can't have hidden resentment after or once get in their next relationship or anything. Basically, they're talking about how they can't be together, right? They have to have alternative relationships, so they can't be, mad that each other, kissing up on each other, showing love to other people, right? They're basically trying to explain how they have to hide the relationship, next relationship, or anything. If we feel something, we gotta say it and talk about it. I don't know what TV is on both sides. Two frame on both sides, maybe? It just started. Can we resume this momentarily? But yeah, that promise is hard one to keep. Bro, it keeps going, by the way.
Kenneth! Okay, I have clothes on. Can you open the door, please? Hello?
He got to scrub the messages. What else we got here? What helps me, just remember that we both agree we'll always be close no matter what. So, you'll still be here, kinda, if this has to end. That's true, I know. I'll never lose you. I'd just be worried from us getting this intertwined. Like, if we had to end it, that I would be heartbroken. She's talking about being heartbroken of having to end a relationship with her cousin. First division round draft, by the way. This isn't like an 80th cousin. Like, oh, man, you was strange. Like, if I passed by you on the street, you wasn't welcome to the barbecue. We talk about first draft divisions, all right? Grew up together. Played ball together. I don't know if they played ball together. But, played together. Seen each other at the Christmas tree. All right, these out here exchanging presents, eating turkey together, breaking bread. They hold their life, by the way, heartbroken, and have to go through those emotions again, or that I'll feel away when you eventually get with someone else. Basically saying, by the way, this is her speaking. She is saying she does not want her cousin to be in a relationship, even though she's in a relationship with someone else. Literally, the guy exposed it right now. She's in a relationship with that guy. Yeah, I feel you. I don't got any words of encouragement because I don't want to feel this either. It gets like that. I guess this is what we signed up for. The sacrifice. Bro, they out here acting like they up in like some military boot camp huddled together. Like, man, we out here to dawn a war. We really back to back. Like Danny Glover and Lethal Weapon. They're cousins. We really signed up for this cousin fuck. I didn't know how it gets.
Kenneth! Hello?
They got a secret hidden message.
Kenneth!
Like, I be thinking this shit isn't gonna be nowhere. Not cause neither of us don't want it to, but because it can't. And that beef up like on some I really wish we just weren't cousins. Oh my god. Sweet home band. As the whole fan found out it, brother, this went omega viral on Twitter. If any of their cousins get on Twitter, yeah, they found out. Okay, this went triple platinum. This was on Fearbucks. All right, they cannot hide this. I'm gonna let you know. Let's just say she's in hiding now, Chad. All right, she's in hiding.
Please, open the door. Let's talk.
You're actually like a psychopath, gang.
Can we talk, please?
To have to go through the swing of things with you, I don't want to get sticky. Yo, at a topic, but I'm seeing this 40X is so full that, by the way, we're gonna get to that in a minute. She sent this to her cousin while she was on a date with her boyfriend, by the way. She was texting her cousin at the movie theaters while she was on a date with her boyfriend, by the way. How did she need that phone back? Hey, you don't take it. Hey, if there's one thing I've learned, don't ever take woman's phone back. She turned into the She-Hulk. All right, she'll turn into the She-Hulk, break the door off the hinges. Get my phone back.
Bro, you really are in the head.
Please talk, please.
Nah, gang, we're good. I'm good.
Open the door.
I'm good off of you, bro. Get on my house.
Open the door.
Get on my house, bro.
I feel you. I think I'm in deeper too, because every time I think of the future, I always picture you, bro.
Talk to you, please.
That's so damn cute.
Please, open the door. Let's talk first. If this is it, let me just talk.
No, this is it, gang.
Okay, that's fine. Let me talk to you, though.
I think after Kentucky, I'm deeper. Essentially, I'm assuming they went to Kentucky or went to like Kentucky. I feel like way more endearment towards you, and also more disconnect from Kenneth. Kenneth is her boyfriend, by the way, chat. This is diabolical. She's literally saying, I'm assuming going to like a family reunion in Kentucky. She's literally just like, after we met in Kentucky, because, I feel so much, closer with you. I also hate my boyfriend now. I'm disconnected with him. This is diabolical. This is some diabolical support. I feel bad for dude. Yo, this is a violation to the highest order. It is a violation. I feel like I can visualize you as my boyfriend figure, by the way. This is her sending this to him. I feel like I can visualize you as my boyfriend figure. The cousin stuff be f***ing up in a different way, too. Like, I be worried this shit is a fruitless love. You know what I mean? I just don't want to get heartbroken on some serious shit. Bro, you've been watching too much. Bro, there is no way you were out here actually in a relationship with a boyfriend and you're hitting up your cousin saying, yo, I like you though. Bro, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. You know it's not gonna work out. What is even a point?
And the more she said that, bro, I was digging through her phone, nigga. I went through hidden. If y'all know about hidden, bro, check your girls hidden. iMessage has like recently deleted text messages. Check that.
So, yes, basically, he's talking about how he went through everything. Alright. I mean, absolutely everything. Again, like I said, I feel so bad for bro. Because, like, she kind of got put on because of him, right? He's not the biggest creator out there, but he has like a couple million followers on, what's it called? On TikTok. He has a couple 100,000 on Instagram. He's not big on YouTube or Twitch, but like on TikTok and Instagram, he's pretty decent size. Obviously, whenever people saw his girl, they instantly loved her. Alright, they were, oh my god. That's your? Can't. I do not endorse it. So obviously, after that, brother saw videos of, explicit videos that she sent to her cousin. Yes, bro really saw the explicit videos that she sent to her cousin. They boyfriend and girlfriend. He's like, I ain't ever seen these before. These brand fresh off the presses. All right, these exclusive. These are exclusive videos I ain't even get to see, and I'm her boyfriend.
I went through everything, bro, and I seen tons of explicit photos from her and him. And then I went through the text messages, and there was a bunch of weird shit going on, bro. Like, she was talking about that being boyfriend material. She was saying she feels a disconnect from Kenneth. She was saying all types of shit, bro. And honestly, bro, I wanted to crash out at that moment.
I feel so bad for bro, because, like, there is no silver lining here. There's not like, oh, I knew that bitch cheating on me. I'm going out with the boy. Brother, it is legitimately her cousin. You just don't recover from something like that. All right, you just don't recover from something like that. That's not something that like you recover from. You sit there, you reevaluate your life. You're like, whatever, I made it out. You just don't recover from that. Cause like in your next relationship, you're gonna be like, why is she taking her cousin so much? Most people are like, bro, it's her cousin, it's her family member. Ain't weird about it. Now he's just like, last time I thought that there was some weird about it. Like, truly this man up for the rest of his life. In order to care to go through her phone, Lord, it's just gonna be a bunch of meat this way. My wife got an Android. I don't even know how to use that shit. Bro, thank God she didn't have an Android. All right, if my girl, that is the only way my girlfriend could ever cheat on me. If she had an Android, I'm like, oh, man, an alien piece of technology. How do I navigate this? I'm gonna need a thesaurus on how to navigate this shit. So obviously, Kenneth then kicks out Kate.
Everything, bro. It's all on my phone just in case she wants to fucking deny the text messages.
Bro, what was that?
Everything.
This is her bucket list, by the way, for her cousin to do to her. My face, eat off my body, a letter X tape, head videos, a hand in a workplace, all right? Plus, spit in mouth. Yo, this is some freaking shit. Handcuffing, I don't even know what tripod video is. What the fuck is a tripod video? We got any real certified freaks in chat? What's a tripod video? Public movie, letter X. She wants to be doing actual things in the movies, in the theater, in the 4DX theater, by the way. The 4DX theater that Kenneth took her to.
Or lie to me, it was all on my phone. I gave her phone back, told her she had to go.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
I don't care. You can't. There's nothing you can say to me right now. You did what you did. You gotta face that. You gotta go.
I can't be without you. I'm sorry.
I don't care.
The reason I feel so since she was young, and I think I'm so mentally fucked up shit. I think we had some psychological shit going on when we were young because when we were legit before even puberty, we were really close to a certain time. Family members.
Y'all heard that? By the way, if y'all didn't hear that, I know. Let me translate the Florida slang for you, Chad. Let me translate the Florida slang for you. She basically said that ever since her and your cousin were young, so before puberty, so literally, probably I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11, they were doing this shit, right? They were on some weird timing before even puberty. Nah, bro, we gotta separate y'all for life. All right, y'all get to be together. Right? To where, so much so, right? They were so into each other, to where even the adults around them were like, hey, what are y'all doing? Hey, stop that. Hey, what is wrong with y'all? Totally, it's totally normal. Wood chipper fish, man. Well, they were cousins, by the way. They both were cousins, sorry, around the same age. I'm not saying that.
And I'm through buying it.
Some
what are you doing?
PDF files.
This ain't no bank robbery.
I'm saying some inside math.
You know, I'm not buying it either.
So you fucking cousin, bro. So you fucking cousin. You need help, bro.
Yeah, she's not with me anymore. We're not with each other no more. But it's just like, bro, hey, all my young bulls out there, bro, learning experience, you can't trust these girls. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You can't trust boy best friends. You can't trust.
All right, so you already know. Rightfully, all right, I can't even fault bro. Okay, I can't even fault bro being like, you can't trust. Bro, I'll be honest with you, cousin is wild. And you wanna know the sad part? Like I said earlier, he took this movie to a 4DX movie. Now, those are not cheap. 4DX movies are not cheap. Once they get the chair shaking, that's an extra $20 on top. And at the 4DX movie, instead of her enjoying the movie with her boyfriend that she's been with for 2 years, by the way, instead of her enjoying the movie with her boyfriend, she was texting her cousin, as you guys saw the text before, about the 4DX movie and how her and her cousin need to go to a 4DX movie. I'm sorry. You lost the plot. You
playing a future with them. Bro, literally, bro, I took her to see the finale of The Boys, my nigga. The finale of The Boys in a 4DX theater, bro. The chairs are moving, but niggas getting decapitated through a field. Water sprinkles to emulate blood. I took her there, right? As I was there, she was testing her cousin, saying, we need to go to a 4DX theater. And that's just sick, bro. Like, I'm thinking this is a nice gesture, me and you. And you're testing your blood cousin, telling him that y'all need to experience that too. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know if it's a light-skinned thing or a Miami girl thing, but bro, you not gonna see me touching any girls from Miami anytime soon.
So yeah, again, like I said, bro is in his fifis right now. Rightfully, by the way. Rightfully. I'm not gonna fault my man. Alright, I'm not gonna fault my man. Because this would fuck anyone up. Again, chat, bro, whenever she would text his cousin or her cousin, she would just be like, oh, you know, it's my cousin. You know, it's not weird. It's like, yeah, you know what? I'm weird for even thinking this, but it's your cousin, right? It's your cousin. Little did he know, she's showing yeeks to the cousin, showing off everything, got a bucket list of nastiness to do with a cousin. Just a whole goon bucket. It's like, oh my God. So obviously, if you guys don't know, this woman, she was an up-and-coming streamer. Alright, she's an up-and-coming streamer. She was doing a lot of big collabs with a lot of female content creators and even male content creators. And now, let's just say she ruined any amount of credibility. Let's just say they're not doing anything with her anymore. Primate Page, another streamer, who is best friend of the streamer who got exposed for cheating on her boyfriend with her cousin, Kathleen, told RP that she outed a few days ago.
Crazy. You heard they got your man?
Oh yeah, I did. I knew about that a few days ago.
What? Wait, how?
I didn't even know I had one with that secret.
Wait, you still wait.
No, I had insider intel from a close friend of the insider intel. Yeah, it's all real, but one thing that's very important is she's gonna have to deal with the repercussions and stuff. Don't send it because you don't want anyone on it.
So yeah, let's just say this girl having a tough time. And it's not just Primate Page. There were some other people that were like, yeah, I don't know what she's been on. I've been trying my best to do, you know, actual streams with her. Like her friend Snowcone was like, I've been trying to do streams with her and collaborations, and it seemed like she was pretty, you know, down in the dumps. I didn't know if this was the reason why she was down in the dumps. Can you take legal action? I don't know if you can take legal action again. They're both two consenting adults. I think depending on the state, they could get arrested. But I think you gotta get caught in the act. I don't think you can just get arrested off of Texas. I think you gotta actually be caught in the act.
You view this girl, if you support this girl, she manipulated her entire comment on her story and said she just didn't want to make content because she was depressed, because she felt like no. The girl was cheating on her boyfriend with her fucking blood cousin. Yo, shut up. Yo, go fuck your cousin just like your queen. Go fuck your cousin just like your queen did.
So, yes, this woman has just made everything so bad for her. So, like, this is terrible, Chad. This is terrible. Because if you guys don't know, Snowcone, out of all three of them, Primate Page, Cat Verdes, and, you know, Snowcone, she's been doing pretty good for herself, right, on stream. She's been doing pretty good for herself on stream, and she thought this woman was her friend and wasn't doing no weird shit. Let's just say it. Weird shit has been done and will continue to be done. All right, someone tells me this is a love to the end now. They like, fuck, we're already in public now. Might as well keep going. I'm like, shit. So, chat, obviously, Kate Vertes is off the internet. Let's just say, I don't know if she's ever coming back. I don't know if she's gonna do a Saikuno and, you know, come back, talk about the therapy she went to. This isn't just regular cheating where people are like, you know, he's cheating. You know, people do. This is some real, you gotta do some work to do this kind of cheating, all right? I just watched that Kathlena Shawty deactivate in real time Kate Vertes. I hope she's good. Brother, So let's just say Kate Verdes is off the internet, chat. Let's scroll through. All right, we have her little link tree here. Let's see what's still up. She probably has her YouTube up, so right, YouTube still up. They ain't shit on it, so yeah, it's still up. What about this one? They ain't shit on this either. Did she take down all her videos? I just realized, did she take down all her videos? Because she has 35K subs, so that means she must have had something up here. She must have unlisted all her videos. It says she has 5 videos, but we can't see them. She unlisted all her videos. Her Twitter. The Twitter does not exist anymore. The Twitter is not existent. The Instagram, gone. All right, I'm assuming the Discord's gone. Oh, she disconnected the Discord. All right, that's gone. Twitch, I think Twitch still up, right? Twitch still up. All right, Twitch still up. TikTok, hey, that's some people's bread, but the TikTok is gone. So yeah, she's off the interwebs. Let's just say she is off the interwebs, my God. She is no longer out here on the streets. All right, her ass is scuttling somewhere off into the woods with her blood cousin. They're running away. Bonnie and Clyde style. Bonnie and Clyde style, running away. I know her fam is on that ass. Yes, chat, they are on that ass. Oh my God. This woman absolutely nuked her career. All right, chat, look at this shit. She barely streams, by the way. She barely streams. And when she does, she goes live to a couple hundred viewers, right? But like at one point, she was doing extremely well, right? She was doing extremely well. She just nuked her whole career for a cousin tag. We can't be doing this. But yes, boys, that is the Kate Verdes situation. A truly heroine tale, heartbreak. All right, this shit is as twisted and disgusting as Adam 22. And what he has done to his wife, where now she is filing for divorce from him. Click this video right here to find out what the hell's going on with happening. But other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you tomorrow.
We have a tornado threat for today, also for tomorrow, but the tornado threat for today has grown in 2 different areas. Plus what's happening with the latest tropical update, everything has shifted more to the west. Now we're going to start off with the severe weather. That would be quicker. That way you get accurate information for what's happening for today. You can see yesterday, we don't have any tornado reports, everybody. It was some wind, some hail, and some rain. That is it. And for today, you see the slight risk has grown further towards the northeast. That's going to be for winds. We do have our tornado threat for today for Ohio going into western Pennsylvania. Also, that next storm system coming in from Montana into North Dakota. So here's your cities and states at risk for a potential tornado for today. There's going to be chances for high winds. Not only significant severe over here for the north central, the upper Midwest, chances for 70, 75 miles per hour wind gusts. Also, the winds that's growing over here for the northeast for today. So here's your cities and states at risk for the high wind threat for today. Also, the hail threat, which is a lower threat, but you still have it. Here's your cities and states at risk for possible hail for today. But actually, as we go through the evening, we have a chance. It is a small chance for a tornado as this comes through from Indiana into Ohio into western Pennsylvania as well. You see how weak the possibility is. Still, you have a chance for a quick spin up as you go through the evening, showing it is a very low chance, more likely to be more winds and some hail. Now, the only threat I'm seeing is maybe over here for eastern Ohio as that moves towards east. still showing that weak as well. But these frontal storms over here for New England, also for Pennsylvania, will bring you some winds as you go through the evening with that also. Then as we go later into the night, getting around 7 to 8 o'clock, you see your best chance for tornadoes will be right here also for Montana going through the Dakotas. Not showing a lot of cells growing in that area. Then for tomorrow, these storms are going to form up again all over the place. You're going to see it coming through for the next storm system from that trough across the Dakotas. Also some storms brewing up all the way from Arkansas, Missouri, going into Iowa and for the south. So there's going to be a little bit of here and there for tomorrow for your tornado threat. That is about it, everybody. This is not a super big, super strong storm. So for tomorrow, for your severe weather, you can see you're going to have possible thunderstorms all over the place. The chances for your tornadoes is going to be small. Again, over here for the south, also for the north central, you have two small areas. So here's your cities and states at risk for a potential spin up for tomorrow. Plus you can see it also goes into North Dakota. This is still going to be a wind and a hail threat. And remember, this is the signature of this storm mode that we've been going in. Showing you hail threat for tomorrow could be significant severe, at least 2 inches in diameter across the north. So here's your cities and states at risk for a possible hail threat for tomorrow for Sunday. Also the wind threat, which will be there for the mid-Atlantic as well, but it will be on the low end. But over here for the north central, this is where the winds will stay strong. So here's your cities and states at risk for the wind threat for tomorrow, for Sunday. Look at the winds for today. There's chances for 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts, maybe even up to 60 as this comes across Pennsylvania, across Delmarva into New Jersey for today. Also, it builds up later tonight across north central will bring chances for higher winds for today, also for tomorrow. So we're bringing that 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts. As we go through for Tuesday into Wednesday is going to bring more severe weather, maybe even all the way towards Thursday morning, moving across Wisconsin from Minnesota. We will see, need to get more updated on that. We have a new weather pattern that's kicking in. We're potentially getting a upper level high down here that would direct the traffic more towards the west into the tropics. Now, it's only seen by the Euro, the GFS is not seeing it, but I do have the latest information for you. But you can see how much it has grown. So when we go into Tuesday, you have a big 15% area. Remember, there will be a marginal around this as well. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for severe weather for Tuesday. And as we go into Wednesday, it moves further towards the east. Now, I think this will go even further all the way towards Thursday morning. But so far, here's your cities and states at risk for severe weather for Wednesday. Now for our tropical update, you see the difference. So we have the first one. It has chances of 70% in 48 hours, 70% in the next 7 days. Still showing this will go generally west-northwest. It will go right by Mexico. This is Invest 91E. The second one has gone up to 50% in the next 48 hours, still at 60% in the next 7 days, showing a tropical depression could form if this stays right off the coast still, as it generally moves northward right afterwards. But still showing a big threat for heavier rainfall in the east. So far for Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Guatemala. The latest on Invest 91E has gone closer towards the Mexico coast. So more likely will swing very close right along coast of Mexico and then go right back into the Pacific again towards the Baja Peninsula. But when you look at the intensity, showing it still will run out of time and be somewhere around a tropical storm strength before weakening right back down towards a tropical depression. So once again, there will be some winds from Invest 91E, potentially being Boris forming, but it will bring more rainfall along the coast. Remember, low pressure goes counterclockwise, so it's going to shove all that on the coast as it goes by towards the west. And on the Atlantic side, as of making this video right now, there's still no outlook from National Hurricane Center. I'm still showing we have this group of disorganized thunderstorms that's trying to get together and possibly stalling right there into the Gulf. Now, it's been a westward shift for this morning, but it still has a window to go back towards the east. I'm going to show you the difference right now. And you can see as we go through next week, it really builds as we go from Thursday into that Friday right here by the Yucatan. Then it goes further into the Gulf with a greater confidence. Going all the way up towards that 50, going towards that 60% chance just for a tropical depression to form. Then you notice afterwards, you still have the chance for this to get pulled out through the east, and then it starts going towards the west after that. But we have two different scenarios that could happen. So let me show you. This is vorticity, this rotation in the atmosphere, showing as we go by Wednesday into that Thursday, If you take a look, we get a group of disorganized thunderstorms according towards GFS, still going towards Florida as we go towards Friday. But if you notice, you don't see anything over here. Matter of fact, we have an upper level high way over here, swinging everything westward. And it's not really going over the Gulf. It's just sitting there, just keeping everything at bay over the south central. And then it moves further towards the west, towards Mexico, and it allows its formation to happen according to the GFS. When you go by the Euro, this is the other scenario, showing that the upper level high will reach way out, which is a way better scenario. We can definitely go like this scenario better, all the way across the northern Gulf, blocks that portion and pushes everything towards the west. You see that? It blocks it and pushes it towards the west. So that's the two different scenarios that we have right now. However, I'm still seeing something very concerning into the ensembles. So we're going to go through the ensembles for today to see what is seen by the weather models. Now you can see with your upper level winds, you have this big upper level high over here going clockwise. This is according to the Euro. The Euro is more accurate. Let's go by the Euro. Showing it will go across the northern Gulf by Monday into Tuesday and might even sit there by Wednesday. But now we're seeing multiple areas where we have upper level highs, showing this one will take over and it'll be stronger and more dominant as we're getting that troughing coming through for next Thursday. Showing this trough is not going deep enough to pull this straight towards the north. Showing is getting blocked by this upper level high right here that formed overnight. We didn't have this yesterday, so take this a little bit with a grain of salt. We're going right past 5 days, but it shifts everything to the west with that upper level high right there. So when we take a look at the latest ensembles, you can see right here with the Euro showing literally as we go 5 days, you start getting a chance for a low pressure to form still by the Western Caribbean. It's still the hot spot, but look how everything shifts towards the west as we go all the way towards the 8 days. So now we have chances for something weak to form, also something strong. So it all depends on the position into the Gulf, because we still have this dust, which I'm showing the latest update is pushing further west as well. So look at this. Something could form up, and then multiple chances of something can form further towards the west as we go into the weekend and beyond. So we're seeing more of a westward shift. And you can see better here with your precipitation that as all this shifts further towards the west, it don't have time to form up into the Western Caribbean, and that upper level high just shifts everything towards the west. Now that is the latest from the European. Remember, the Euro is way more accurate, but it's not the only forecast. Now the latest deterministics shows with the GFS something very weak while we get something very strong into the Pacific, but showing a very weak disorganized group of thunderstorms, and maybe a quick system will form up spinning off towards the right, showing it will have some dust to contend with as well. But don't show anything else besides that, which shows a lot more weakness overnight, everybody. Look at the latest with the Euro, showing everything shifts more to the west, and I'll show you the reasons why, and shows no chance of formation as of the latest update this morning. And when we look at the GEOS satellite, showing the dust more likely will not stop by the Western Caribbean, the upper level high will pull that into the Gulf and probably push everything further towards the west. Once again, like the European is seeing, not the GFS, showing more than likely will suppress all that into the west. Now this could change. This is the latest update. It all depends on what that upper level high is going to do. That's going to direct all the traffic. So I got tired of this left, right, maybe, yes, no, yes. Let's pull out the ensembles. This is the ensembles in a picture graph. So all these little squiggly lines you see by the ensembles, each one is in a picture graph in a box. So we can see what the models, what the computer is thinking, everybody. Showing as we go 5 days. Remember, this is at 5 days starting on this run. Showing something could form up into the Yucatan, the Bay of Campeche. Showing something weak, but then we start seeing a lot of strength on these. So it's not just one or two, everybody. You can see multiple ensembles showing something forming up into the Gulf. Even though we see a weak scenario for this morning, we're still seeing some very disturbing outcomes possibly into the ensembles. This is showing multiple. This is still about a 50-50 chance. Look at the other set. That's why Euro is more accurate. It has 50 members. The other set is showing the same thing. more likely will stay something weak as it goes by the Western Caribbean, by the Yucatan, into the Bay of Campeche. Then something possibly can form up shortly after that. You see that? So we're going to see something weak according to the ensembles. Then we're going to see it strengthen up right afterwards. And we're still at a 50-50 on that shot. The last shot I have for you is the deep ocean heat content. And you see over here that it's starting to get warmer over here by the Western Caribbean, right where this wave is going by. Now, when you have warmer temperatures below, this is where the system starts rotating and it starts getting an upwelling effect, and it pulls northward what is down below, showing warmer temperatures by the Western Caribbean. So if this could get itself together a little bit better before this dust kicks in, this could help it form a little bit stronger. Not super strong, but there is warmer temperatures below. I will keep you updated. Before I go, a quick word from our Father, everybody. Isaiah 12:2. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also has become my salvation. Amen. Remember, everybody, put your trust in God. He will not steer you wrong. You put your trust in man, you're going to follow along with his agendas as well. Hope you have a very blessed day today. Hope everyone is safe through this weather. And we'll see you again for tomorrow morning, God willing, unless we have a big update that needs to be done for this afternoon. I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I really appreciate your support. Hope you have a great day today. Remember, above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. I'll keep you updated.
Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well on this Friday afternoon. I'm going to cover several different things, but I would say the big thing is that with the economy tightening and with the things that we have coming at us here, with a lot more stress on people. People are already frazzled, stressed, going nuts, have a short fuse. I see countless videos of road rage that is just off the chain. Terrible, y'all. Terrible behavior. We've got the shootout that happened in Columbia, South Carolina. I'll go into that here. Sounds awful. I'll go into it in a second. But I would say that we need to definitely, wherever we live, even if you live in a gated community, you take a safe dog, it's great. Everybody everybody's polite. I think we still need to just be aware and watchful of what's going on right around where we live, even. Okay, I'll go a little deeper into that here in a moment. I have a terrific verse of the day I will share with you towards the end of the video. Definitely encouraging. First, though, a couple of little stories I saw a while ago. It said that the stock market took a big hit today on a Friday, of course, right? Of course, it could bounce back big time by Sunday night. Who knows? But supposedly that was a big hit. A lot of losses, even defense contract stuff, precious metals, all kinds of big blue chip companies as well. So is it the start of something huge? We don't know. Are the banks safe? We don't really know. It's a Friday afternoon. It wouldn't hurt to make sure you have some cash flow handy. I'm not saying you gotta take big amounts. I mean, you probably can't even do that right now at a bank, but just get some cash out here and there. Just have some cash going in. I'm trying to use cash more often, as much as possible. They can't track it, right? That's one thing. Not that it really matters. I mean, I use a cell phone, for goodness sakes, you know. But still, I'm trying to use cash more often. Even buying gas. If I buy little things, I go and I go into a place, use the bathroom, or grab a drink, or whatever. Then I use cash. You know, it's different spending that. Because when you spend with cash, it's more like, you know, instead of swiping a card, it's different, isn't it? It's just different. It has that different feel. I believe that the war, especially in the Middle East and even maybe in Europe, and they're already escalating, especially in Europe, but even in the Middle East and beyond, I believe we're just seeing the beginnings of war. And like several of you have said, many of you said on this channel, we have been in World War III. I agree. I do agree. I believe it's going to just get bigger and bigger and escalate even more. I don't want that to happen, and I hope I'm wrong, but I believe it's going to continue. I've been seeing a lot of chatter off and on today, just listening, hearing bits and pieces when I'm driving about a lot more rearming, another big buildup going on in the Middle East and Israel, United States bases and United States controlled areas. And I believe they're about to unleash a lot of hostilities again. I really do. And there's an awful lot, and a lot of people are forgetting, there's an awful lot of troops, American troops in the region. Sizable, pretty sizable contingent of troops there. Marines, Army, Airborne, all kinds. Expeditionary forces and Marines, Naval, all kinds of stuff. It would not shock me if we saw, and it sounds like it's going on a limb, going out there, but it would not shock me if we were to see some type of at least small-scale invasion. And we don't have the kind of forces that could be a large-scale invasion, like we used to see back in the day, or, you know, like the Sandlot wars, the Iranian or the Iraqi wars. You're not going to see that. I think those are going. But you can see like one of them islands, like Clark Island or something like that, or something similar. It wouldn't shock me if they did that. I hope they don't, because I think that could be very terrible. But it wouldn't shock me if that happened. It really wouldn't. There's just a lot of chatter about a lot of transport planes, a lot of stuff, a lot more stuff flying into that area. Tankers, strato tankers, all kinds of stuff. Columbia, South Carolina, overnight. From what I'm reading, police responded to shots fired by citizens. And as soon as they got there, this is like 1 a.m. As soon as they arrived, they were fired upon by as much as 10 people. The shootout proceeded then. At least one suspect is down, was eliminated, no longer breathing. Another one, I think they arrested somebody else. but many others on the run. They say up to 10 more people were involved in this shootout with police, and they just gone into the wind, I guess. Columbia, South Carolina, y'all. They say it was a wild scene. I watched a little video, listened to a little video of it when I took a break earlier, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you, it was like a 2-3 minute video. It sounded like something from like them videos that you could see of war footage in Iraq. Back in the Iraq, the Sandlot Wars. It sounded like that, y'all. Except for maybe like a tank gun or something like that, okay? Or one of those artillery. That's the only thing that was missing. I mean, everything else, it was so much small arms fire. It sounded like Beirut or something. In South Carolina, United States, in a neighborhood. And it just went on for a while. Police were pretty much overwhelmed. Rattled the whole night. I can imagine it rattled the whole night. I cannot imagine. Let's be aware. And I mentioned it a couple of videos ago. It's time to keep a little more watchful of what's going on around in your neighborhood, y'all. I'm not saying be paranoid and be worried that the utility guy is listening to you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being aware, being watchful of what's going on on your streets, in your neighborhood, and not just that, but just even outside your immediate neighborhood, your community, small or large, or even if it's a large area, just right outside your little area. You know, when you go out and about, listen, have your ear to the ground, so to speak. And try to pay attention to what's going on. I still get a newspaper. I pay I don't know, it's cheap. It's cheap now. Nobody reads newspapers anymore. I get a local newspaper in our county. It comes once a week, and I go through it, and I like to keep up with kind of what's going on around. I look at the criminal, the arrest records and all that kind of stuff, and it's very detailed. It's a lot. And it's very interesting. 99% of the people have no clue. They're just not paying attention. They're walking around so buried in their electronics and their devices, and I know I'm guilty of that too. But they don't even know what's right above their head. They don't even know they're about to stumble onto a rock or fall through a hole or something in the ground or something like that. They wouldn't know. So let's just increase our awareness, even in our neighborhood, on our street. Do you have some kind of coordinated watch system? Doesn't have to be super sophisticated. Just a few neighbors that kind of communicate. They communicate for a regular basis. Like, hey, I've never seen that car here. It's been coming through. It's a little suspicious. They're just kind of cruising through real slow, like they're looking at stuff. Oh, well, I saw some people walking around taking pictures of homes. That's not normal, unless it's like a realtor or something like that, I guess. But if your gut kind of tells you when something's off, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So let's just be aware, be a little extra watchful of things, because things just seem so weird lately, y'all, just in general. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just very weird. People and behavior right now. So does that make sense? I don't know. Share what you think about that. Experts continue to warn that the United States Strategic Petroleum Reserve is at historic lows and continues to be drained, y'all. It's going to hit a point to where you're going to see it. You're going to see where the rubber meets the road on this. I'm telling you, I'm warning it. I've been warning. I'm going by what experts are saying and what a lot of smart people are saying. Okay, this is not all me just throwing stuff out there. I'm just relaying it to you. So let's pay attention to that too. Let's continue our preparations in all phases. Ms. Dog and I have been working hard on our property to with little security things, barriers. I'm not saying we're building a moat, nothing like that. But increased security measures. I won't even go into detail. but and fortifying some things and making it our own, but also making it to where it's enjoyable, to where we like to spend time. We don't have to travel out of the state to enjoy nature. We don't have to go. We like to go to parks, go to state parks, but we don't necessarily have one. We have one in our backyard too. Sometimes it's nice just to not even leave home, y'all. Not even crank the car for a day or two. How about that? I know a lot of people probably do that, but you know, thank God for Mrs. Dog. Because if it were all up to me, I would probably rarely leave my home other than to work, because I have to leave my home to work, y'all. Other than that, if I didn't have to do that, y'all, I probably wouldn't even leave the property. I would have to, and I've had to do this before, crank up the car. It's been, you know, where it's been a while since the car's cranked, and just literally crank the car up and spin it around, you know, take it around for a while just to drive it, so the battery don't die. You know, that's what I'd be having to do. This dog's like, she works a lot from home, and this dog's like, at least I gotta go somewhere, you know, like, I don't know, let's just go somewhere and grab something to eat. She gets me out, especially on the weekend. Short little things, short little excursions. But I don't even have to do that, y'all. I can just stay home. Just let me stay home in the backyard. You know, we created a little privacy, and I'm back there, you know. So what can you do with that? Even if you have a condo or apartment or something like that, can you create a little space? It's not as hard to do as you think. Just something to think about. Gasoline here has been holding about the same, maybe went down just slightly. But I think this is the calm before the storm, y'all. So don't be lulled into just thinking, I'm good, and you know, and you might be, but just keep an eye on things and keep our preparations. Backfill your preps that you're using, and a little low on something, so you're going in and get a little extra. All right, because I see no progress in the Middle East. I see nothing that makes me think that we're going to be okay on that, y'all. I really don't. I've been following it pretty close. Also, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the manholes in New York City, people going under the streets and stuff. Y'all, that's weird. That's very weird. I have this bad feeling something's going to happen, and it's going to be traced back to this stuff sometime, at some point, right? Somebody to make a comment that it has worked on these, you know, that it has knowledge of this kind of stuff, and he said it's impossible for somebody by themselves to open up one of these manholes. You have to have help with that equipment. That makes sense. I'm just going by the videos I've seen, and it's not just one dude. It's like a group of guys doing this stuff. Y'all, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Have y'all seen it? I haven't seen an update lately on that, or any kind of explanation or progress in trying to figure out what's going on with that. I'm just very curious. The New York City is where I've seen the stories and the videos, though. So I'm gonna go to a passage. I'm not gonna make this real long. I've been working today, so I haven't really been able to do a lot of research. So I do it as I'm able to do it. I'm going into Galatians. I've probably read this before, but this just speaks to me. A couple of different verses, y'all. Galatians chapter 5, verse 25, verse 26 says, "If we live by the Spirit, let's follow the Spirit as well. Let's not become boastful, challenging one another, envying one another." Yeah. And then a little later in chapter 5, let's see, this is a good one I always like. Yeah, there it is. Verse 9, "Let's not become discouraged in doing good. For in due time we will reap if we do not become weary." We will reap. Some translations say we will reap a harvest. Absolutely. Let's don't grow weary of doing good. How about that for counterculture these days, y'all? Like doing something good. Like an act of kindness, or, you know, just very small, even a gesture or something like that. It can be small. It don't have to require money or giving away something. suggestion, just something we should think about. It's right here. It's right here. Anyway, share your thoughts. We're going into a weekend, y'all. I don't know what kind of stuff flies around. But let's be safe out there. Continue to do the things, staying busy and keeping your preps relaxed. Make time to relax and unplug. Stay safe, be alert out there, stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.
Hello YouTube fam, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. A lot of people are mad because it ain't shit free anymore, man. There used to be free days at the museum, free days at the zoo. You used to get discounts at the shed. You know you gotta pay for parking and things like that. You okay with that? You know going in what you gotta pay for. But the thing is, man, they cutting all the free items, man, and people are left, scrambling to find something else to do. So people are choosing the beach, and you get your ass to the beach, and you come to find out the first 15 minutes is free. Then after that, you gotta pay. And people are like, wait, hold on. What you gonna do at the beach for 15 minutes? You drove all the way to get to the beach. Now all the beaches across Chicago just about are paid for parking. Dude, now you sitting here thinking to yourself, I don't want to be bothered anymore, man. I want to find something else to do. This is a little too much. And I've been pushing this off to my wife, and I'm saying, hell, we're some of those people trying to find some free activities around Chicago. You know, going to see little things, little sites in the city and things like that, little sites in other cities. Just, you know, doing some stuff, man. And that's the thing that I'm looking at, man. A lot of times, man, you get stuck out here spending money, and you come to find out you really didn't have to. There's places that you can go and still have fun with. You know, I noticed that a lot of the amusement park fares done went up. That's what basically is killing Disney right now, because a lot of people don't get any money. So if you raise the fare up at the park, it was already high as hell. Season passes are an arm and a leg, and you sitting there thinking, damn, you keep forgetting I don't even live here. So that means I gotta fly here each time, and people are like, yeah, it ain't worth it anymore. So they're trying to look at what else is out there. So Disney is losing money. They're starting to lay off people, man. So the thing is, people don't understand that the average worker hasn't received a raise, an increase that is substantial enough to validate all of these extra prices y'all throwing at people. You go to a restaurant now, they're adding the gratuity into the bill. I get it, okay. But you still got these people wanting to tip. And I'm like, man, if I'm already giving you a tip, it always say the gratuity on this item is $20 for this. You know, you want an additional 10 or 5? Man, hell no. Bro, look, at this point, I'm tired. At this point, everybody's tired. Everybody's tired of blowing money. You got a lot of people cooking at home, man. A lot of restaurants are losing money because people are still going, don't get me wrong. People are going to continue to go because people want to go out and have a good time. They want to do something. You got a lot of young people going out. You know, a lot of 20-somethings. They going out and doing stuff. They're in groups. They just want to have a good time and be loud and stupid. But that's what's happening. You know, I understand in my 20s, bro, I'm still a different person. I didn't like going places with people because I realized who had money and who didn't. And I didn't want to be in that, you know, because I don't want to pay for somebody else's food. Man, and you know, they ordering up shit like, they ordering so damn hard, you just sitting there looking like, man, this person must got some money. And you know, at the end, I was like, separate checks, you know, whatever they doing is what they doing. And they like, man, why you say separate checks? I said, bro, I ain't order enough to even get where y'all at. So, you know, I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing, man. I thought we were splitting it 4 ways. I said, we didn't eat this 4 ways. You ate all your food. Why would we split it 4 ways? And you the one eating your food, bro. I ain't got time for that. Y'all split it 3 ways. Y'all be good. Man, I shouldn't have to pay that much. You shouldn't have ate that much. But anyway, I digress. I had to throw that in there for you because I think a lot of people don't understand when you go out, you should have some money. I'm not talking about, you know, enough to like change the world, but you should have enough to be like, okay, I could do this. That makes sense. I could do that. I could do this, and I could do that too. And this is what you're talking about. You could do all this stuff. Now I'm sitting here looking at the fact, man, it's time to just sit back and understand some things, man. I'm understanding that we are at a situation right now, man, where it's just looking crazy as hell. A lot of people want a lot of stuff, but they want it for free. A lot of people see things, but they want it for free. You know, you see that, you know, we're doing some things, but you want it for like a quarter. Man, you know, I'm thinking, man, look, people angry because they can't afford stuff, man, but buy the stuff you can afford. If you can't afford that big ass vehicle you got, why you get it? You can't afford the house you got, why you get it? Dude, people are like, man, $1,400, $1,500 for rent sound like a mortgage. I'm like, what? People love to have that mortgage. Where you talking about a mortgage like that at? That ain't no damn mortgage. Bruh, mortgages now are like $2,000 and up. They're not anything under, you know, here in Illinois, at least, well, not Illinois, but Chicago. It's hard to get a mortgage that cheap. You know, my thing is, and I look at it, Chicago has one of the highest rate of property taxes, man. Insurance and every damn thing else. You're gonna sit there most of the time paying like 2 and up. For all of this included, you know. And I'm just like, I don't know. I want people to sit back and think about this. You know, we buy a lot of things because they sell it as the American dream. We buy homes, we buy cars, we buy these cell phones. Now, to be honest, do little kids need cell phones? Hell no. But the world that we live in, they need a cell phone. I'm just being honest. The world that we live in, they need a phone. The way they taking kids right now, they need a phone. I'm trying to think about it, man. When I was little, we didn't even have a house phone at one point in time. Couldn't afford it. Bruh, shit was real. And I don't think a lot of people understand. Now, the struggle look good on people because people are like, man, sometimes you gotta struggle, man. You know, it creates the best version of yourself. But I don't want to be house poor, bro. I don't want to be car poor. I don't want to be credit card poor where I'm just paying off credit cards now. You know, people like, yeah, man, I had a good trip, man. Now it's time to get back to reality, man. I'm like, man, you know, we stayed in that hotel for the week. We had to get away from that house, man. I get it. People don't understand sometimes looking at that house, man, it drives me crazy. Sometimes just to get away and be relaxed, rejuvenated. People don't see that. Because, see, to them, it don't make sense. They like, I can live in squalor. I'm not one of those people who can. I'm not there for that. I'm not there for that squalid living and all that other bullshit, bro. When you start noticing shit, you like, this is not for me, man. It's not. And I've been telling people, man, hey, look, if something's not for you, man, you can't make it for you. You gotta find ways to get yourself out of it, man. You gotta find ways to do certain things, man. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to find certain ways to get out of stuff, man. To make it better. You know, a lot of people don't want shit to be better. They just want it to be what it is. And at the end of the day, man, it's just not what it is anymore, man. You have thoughts, you have dreams, you have hopes, you have a lot of things, man. But I'm gonna tell you what you don't have. You don't have a lot of people understanding what it is you're talking about. You get it? You know, you can sit back one day and just be like, man, I'm just tired of this. I'm just tired of that. Nobody understands because, see, at the end of the day, it don't hit as hard as it would hit if that wasn't the case. Man, we are at war with each other right now. We are at war with this living. It's getting harder and harder. And I know people like, man, but you constantly buy stuff, you constantly have things. And it's not fair to anybody else that you got all this stuff, man, and you complaining. Bro, I haven't seen anybody just give me stuff. A lot of the stuff majority of the stuff that I have, I work my ass off for. You know, people donate to the channel, people send stuff to the channel. I shout them out, tell them thank you because that's what it is. Man, but when you sit back sometimes and really look at the big picture, you see it for what it is. You see it as, yeah. That's what you see it as. You're just tired. You're like, man, come on. And this is what I'm looking at, man. I'm looking at a lot of stuff like, come on. It shouldn't be where you gotta make choices with stuff you wanna get. You know, like either I get this or I get that. And people like, that's the way it's supposed to be, but you don't get what I'm saying. I'm like, it ain't choices like that. It's like you sitting there thinking to yourself, like, what the hell? And that's what I'm talking about. What the hell? Man, look, we need to make shit make sense. We need to be at a better state. We need to understand what it is that we're doing. We need to be pushing better options and alternatives, but we don't want to. We want to stay where we at because it seems fine. It seems okay. And that's okay too. Man, I'm just kind of tired, man. I'm tired to the fact that I understand what my other brothers and sisters who work really hard are going through. So Uber and Lyft have issues with that. They're basically being priced out. They want to bring Waymo cars to Chicago. You know, they've been bringing them here, and you know, they've been having people do the driving of the routes for the car. As they're driving the Waymo cars, the Waymo cars getting more acclimated to the city, more to the roads and every damn thing else, before it can start plotting, you know, the directions and all of that in order to do certain things. But what people are finding out at this moment is that's what they want to do with Uber and Lyft. Basically get rid of them and bring in self-driving cars. Because they don't want to pay anybody. So Uber and Lyft, it was said to be okay that they could unionize. And I think that's a good thing. Bro, the gas prices done went up. You're dealing with hostile, you know, clientele. People not respecting your vehicle. People talking to you any kind of way. Bro, I'm going to tell you something. That shit wears thin. You be about to beat somebody's ass. I'm serious. I wholeheartedly understand. And these people make it seem like they owe you the world for, you know, employing you. You see, this is why so many people done quit Uber and Lyft. A lot of people were illegal. They were doing Uber and Lyft. Ask yourself, how they getting cars and homes and shit like that? You ever realize that illegal people got accounts at banks, they got cars, homes, they got all type of shit. Whereas the people who are legal in the country can't get shit. Ain't that funny how that works? You see how this is all, you know, basically panning itself out. This is why a lot of people are upset. You know, and I say it over and over again, man. You gotta be very careful. A bunch of angry people are people you don't want to be around, because those people, they're so mad at you, man. They're just angry. Get what I'm saying? Angry people do angry shit. It's no longer like, I'm trying to make money. I'm hating on that person for having the stuff they have. You driving a Lincoln Navigator through here every day and we can't afford a Lincoln Navigator. What the hell they got to do with me? And this is why I say you got to live where that Lincoln Navigator don't draw so much attention. But people want to live in areas where the Lincoln Navigator sticks out like a sore thumb and they bust your windows and steal your shit. And you mad every other day because they keep breaking into your vehicle. You can't live somewhere where that car sticks out. You gotta be somewhere where oh, that's a Navigator? Yeah, man. Man, they got a, what you call it, up the street, man. You like, oh, for real, man? Oh, man, this block is killing it. You wanna live somewhere where your stuff don't stick out. Why would you live in the hood and you drive a Lamborghini? Why would you live somewhere that's middle class and you drive a Lamborghini? Bruh, those are places that their car shouldn't be. Because sooner or later, somebody gonna try to come for you because they see you with stuff. Now, if you drive a Lamborghini and you live in a rich area, it's a rich person with a rich car. That's something that I talk to people about. Man, knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing what you got, knowing that you cannot be around certain people. And as bad as that sounds, people make it seem like, you know, you're supposed to tolerate shit. No, I'm gonna stay here, man. I'm gonna put up with stuff. I'm gonna understand things, man. I'm gonna be there for the people. I'm not gonna be anything. First person you should be there for is your damn self. Stop worrying about everybody else. They gonna be okay. Whatever they got themselves into, man. You know, I was saying, if I was rich, you know, I secretly help my family. You know, I do this and that. You know what? But, you know, when you do all this shit, you set up precedents. It make people look down on you. It make people think that you don't got nothing. See, you know, we doing all this, but what you doing? The same person helping me is helping y'all. You know, or, you know, like I said, just like this, man. Sometimes you gotta be the only one enjoying your blessing. Because it's your blessing. It's not someone else's. If you winning, bro, and, you know, Like I said, your kids are doing good. They got their own places and stuff like that. And they grown. Oh, man, but what about your grandkids? You want to see your grandkids? Bro, I'm going to tell you. I can get on the phone and FaceTime them, man. Tell my wife, I said, sometimes you just got to move away. If you came into a nice amount of money, I said, we will move. You know, basically disappear. Somebody said, you wouldn't buy no mansion in the city. I said, I wouldn't do none of that. I said, I'd buy a mansion somewhere else. Somewhere where I know you can't get to. You know, when you live in your life, bro, you gotta live your life. Because that's what everybody else is doing. And I've been pushing this fact to everybody, man. Don't blow up your life trying to save somebody else's life. The shit people are going through, sometimes it's the result of them. Ain't your job to save anybody. Ain't your job to protect anybody. Dude, don't ever lose yourself, your relationship trying to save somebody else. Worst thing you could do, man. Because at the end of the day, you get nothing out of that situation. Oh, you get satisfaction knowing you helped somebody. No, you don't. You get satisfaction knowing you done fucked up your life. I'm just being realistic, bro. I'm not trying to be mean, facetious, funny. I'm just being real. When you mess up your life, it ain't nothing like messing up your life to make you feel even more stupider. You done did some horrible shit to yourself, now you crying. Bro, I'm way past this, man. I'm at the point now where I'm at the finish line. I'm trying to move and, you know, marinate, you know, basically maneuver around places, man, and not get caught up in dumb shit. But people still want to push you there, man. I'm like, what we should be doing right now is building. You know, I'm talking about just building. One thing that I notice is life would never tell you it's real. The world is real. Everything is real. It's just, man. But till later, thank you for watching. Peace out.
Characters, you know, have them dress up as a black mage or a ninja and stuff. We were talking about Summer Games Fest 2026 because it just ended, and that was the best one ever. You know, I'm kind of known as a Jeff Keighley hater.
But what about them PlayStation 5 exclusives, though, man? Let's not lie, man. We all know the state of play is better because them games is exclusive, man. All I seen was third party, man. Look at these ponies, man. Look at Jeff Keighley, like this is what I wish Sony was supposed to do. If only Sony could give me this excitement. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love the Summer Games Fest. You see what happens when games is multi-plat. It just seems that the games is better, but you ponies would tell us that because the game is exclusive, that would infinitely make the game better. I mean, look at it. This man's jaw dropped. His jaw out here looking like something from out of the Fairly Odd Parents with the crimson chin. Look at that. These ponies are excited. They're like, we finally got some carrots, Jimmy. We finally can eat, man. We no longer need to be malnutrition, man. It was good enough we was getting them Xbox games, but damn. Look at the way these ponies acting out, bro. Out of their stables, man. I can't believe Jeff Keighley stuck his head out there out the stables while he was eating his nice good old Xbox carrots. Now he want to sit there and talk about, oh, look at the Summer Games Fest. It's unbelievable. Oh, it's shocking and shambles.
When I watch these presentations, these
man's literally breaking down all over this Summer Games Fest, all over some multi-plats.
I judge them as a showcase. You know, how entertaining is it? And I feel like a lot of Jeff Keighley stuff is filled with some ads and DLC and live service stuff. And hey, check out the newest season of Fortnite.
And what about High Guard? You know, what about that game? Man, this just goes as far as to tell you that exclusivity is dead, man. Y'all weren't getting hyped over this, over that God of War Laffy Taffy game. Look at this. The Summer Games Fest got these ponies going out here looking crazy. All right, so we don't want to hear these so-called PlayStation 5 exclusive narratives anymore. You know, I think it's redundant at this point, right? Can we all agree? Can we all agree that GameStop was right from the beginning and how wrong you ponies have been ever since the PlayStation 5 has dropped?
This is the first time ever where everything was great. Like, there were a couple games in there that personally I didn't want to play, but this was like 80% bangers. But we have to go through the games that I think look the best. Starting, of course, with Code Veronica Remake. I already did a separate video about that because I was freaking about the trailer.
It's multiplayer.
And also a giant 11-minute deep dive into Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, which is called Revelations. Let's get into this.
I mean, really, guys? This is what we're doing? I mean, we kind of already knew these games existed, though. I mean, we already knew that Square was going to have to finish the story of Rebirth, and we all knew that Code Veronica was coming out. I don't really know how you guys are surprised over this. I mean, these things have been leaked for quite some time. I mean, you guys should know this. You guys are the professional leakers. Y'all the Tom Warrens and the Paul Tassies of the gaming community. So I don't know how shocked we are knowing that Capcom is finally about to drop Resident Evil Code Veronica, man. That's for all you old heads out there, man. I told you, Resident Evil Requiem was nothing but a glorified action-packed game with some lousy gray stages, and now we finally gonna get back to the real survival. I hope so. I hope we get back in, because I'm gonna be very disappointed if this game is not survival horror like the original. They're probably gonna do the same thing. They're probably gonna make Claire have some form of survival horror. Let's say like Resident Evil, not maybe a particular game, maybe some Resident Evil Revelation type of gameplay, and they're gonna make good old Chris Redfield and Code Veronica, they're gonna make him some action-packed Resident Evil 5 stages like they always do. I mean, that's more likely what they're gonna do. I hope they don't do that. I hope they stay consistent with, you know, of how the original was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think they could do a good job, but we already know Capcom don't care no more, man. They has casualized this franchise. They don't care about any of the complaints of the survival horror crowd. All they care about is how much money they're making off these action-packed games. Plain and simple.
This now is completely actually open world. Like, getting into the highway, you can just...
I mean, the game was open world even on the third disc. What do you guys... Yeah, we knew this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it should be crazy. I mean, with the way it looks, I don't know if the Switch 2 gonna get this, though. I mean, damn. Look at those maps. Look at them graphics.
Jump out of the airship and just fly down to literally
PUBG, baby.
To me, what really tripped me out was
unbelievable, man. Look at Final Fantasy Revelation, man. You see, what was the point of playing all those other ones when you finally get to actually get to the meat and potatoes of the game? I mean, this is not a surprise to me. I mean, this is something that Square has been doing for quite some time. You know, letting you actually be able to free roam and do all these other things. Hopefully, it's not littered with a bunch of it probably is side quests that really don't add to the overall aspect of the game. But this is looking pretty impressive. And I played Final Fantasy VII Remake. I really didn't like it. Obviously, the gameplay is going to be very similar. But damn, I mean, if we're talking about this type of level of skill of a map, you got to give it some form of credit for sure.
Refining this combat system, and now it's even better. They're gonna have like a class system called Fits, where people can actually dress up as like stereotypical classic Final Fantasy characters. You know, have them dress up as a black mage or a ninja and stuff, and they get.
I mean, I think it does look good. This might be one of the better Final Fantasies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just from the screenshots alone. But we'll see though. We'll see if the PlayStation 5 is even remotely able to handle this game, because we already know the problem with the original version of Rebirth. I mean, this game game looks like it's pushing boundaries, right? And we all know Rebirth has some issues. This game will probably run amazingly on PC, but we still don't know how well it's gonna run on console. Maybe this might be one of them PS5 Pro releases y'all was talking about, how the Pro is gonna show the real graphics, right? Maybe it might. I mean, it was like that with Rebirth, so I'm assuming that the Pro will probably be the best console. I mean, of course, best console version of this game, right? But in regards to Series X and PS5 and those other owners, I don't know. We'll see. It better, because these screenshots look good. But we all know when Rebirth came out, and this game is way more expansive than Rebirth would ever was. And we already know that game be looking fuzzy. So we'll have to wait and see. I already know PC gamers, they're going to be eating good with this one, because, I mean, if these screenshots are anything real, then yeah, this game looks pretty phenomenal.
It's just been such a long time of teases and rumors, and I mean,
yeah, that's me looking up like, damn, look at all those games coming down from the skies, man. It's about time, man. That's all the ponies looking up. That's D-back right there. Like, hold on. Oh, there you go. They finally dropping them airdrop of games, man. They clutching it out, man. We finally got some games coming out, man. Look at that. You got the ponies looking above the skies, looking for raindrops. Out here looking desperate, man. Finally getting some games 6 to 7 years in, you know, and now finally getting some games to play. And they all multi-plat. You know what I'm saying? Multi-plat is yet again saving these consoles. So yet again, exclusivity does not matter, because if it did, you guys would have been hyped up for the state of play, and you guys would have been hyped up for these games, right? And what's crazy that a lot of these games don't have Switch 2 release dates, and that's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Remember when I told you that the Switch 2 is doing good, but when them third-party games started coming out, I don't know, man. That's what I was trying to tell you, man, because even Nintendo got to deal with that beast too, with the third party, and I don't think Nintendo can do it. I don't think Nintendo can deal with it, because once these games start pumping out at GTA 6, I'm not saying the Switch 2 will be forgotten, but I do think a lot of people will stop caring about buying one. You know what I mean? But we'll see how that turns out.
You play the XCOM games?
Look at that.
Those are the best tactical strategy.
Another game that's not coming to Switch 2. And I know what y'all, it ain't about a third party. Ain't about exclusive. Listen, man. Listen. I understand you love the Switch 2, but I'm an overall gamer. Okay? I don't just buy the Switch 2. I don't buy any product, mind you, for a lack of games. Okay? To me, a good platform is a good platform with first party or just good games in general. It doesn't matter if the games are exclusive. And yet again, Nintendo Switch 2 is missing out on a lot of titles, okay, that a lot of people looking forward to. And like I've told you guys before, the Switch 2 looks like it's becoming obsolete. It looks like companies are not even willing to make games for it. Borderlands 4 got, was it delayed? Who knows if that game is even still coming out? With the 007 First Light, which was planned to have a Switch 2 release date, has been delayed. So this is not good. I mean, Switch 2 wasn't even getting third-party games back then. Now, y'all definitely, you guys are getting less third-party games than when the Switch 1 came out. Understand that. You know what I'm saying? And the Switch 1 was far weaker than what we had at the time. But the Switch 1 still got a lot of games. And I know a lot of Nintendo fanboys that will be, oh, but you know. No, I'm just being fair with this argument. I don't see Switch 2 release dates on here. I see PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S and X. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Switch 2 is becoming obsolete already. You guys was out here parading, oh, because we get a few Wii Masters and a few old generation games, but now look at it. You ain't getting none of these titles, and you definitely ain't getting no Grand Theft Auto 6.
I mean, one of the biggest surprises of the show for me, because honestly, this trailer looks like it's going to be more of a brawler beat 'em up than just a skater fighter. You know, a lot of fighting games, it's just.
Yeah, so it's like they went back to the Virtual Quest roots. I mean, you know what the funny thing is? People have been saying this for years, though. I mean, technically, this is what Shenmue was. I don't know if it's even going to have fighting game elements or if they just took things from Street Fighter 6 for the template of this game. But they finally did a Virtual Fighter game. I don't know if it's open. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of stuff going on with this. But they finally took Virtual Fighter. Sega is really pushing their games to the next envelope. I mean, we got this, Stranger Than Heaven. Sega's not playing around no more. I noticed this. They're not doing a lot of cookie cutter. They're really being serious. You know, they're really trying to do the Capcom and expand, even though if they might lose a lot of potential diehard fans, if they were even remotely any of them still there besides the Sonic franchise. I mean, this is good. I mean, I'm looking forward to Virtual Fighter Crossroads. This is looking pretty crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is something that people have been asking for ever since Shenmue existed. You know what I mean? That's what it was. Like, I mean, Virtual Fighter, but like open world, and what we're kind of seeing with this game, I don't know. We'll see. It could be something similar to Street Fighter 6. That's all I'm saying.
It looks like this is going to be an actual, like, brawler. And sure, they're getting in fights, dodging people, running around in the streets. Maybe that's all cutscenes, and it is just going to be straight up normal fights. But
or it could be like how Capcom did it. Very similar. You know what I'm saying? They'll have like it's, you know, fighting, you know, legit 2D fighting element, well, legit 2D fighting, 3D fighting game elements, and then have this as well. So this is going to be a pretty big, ambitious fighting game. And like I said before, Virtual Fighter is always that game that has always pushed the envelope. So expect a lot of fighting games to copy this. Because y'all don't want to give Virtual Fighter credit, but a lot of fighting games copy Virtual Fighter. Tekken, Dead or Alive, even with the ranking system. Tekken got that from Virtual Fighter. Let's not forget. Say that with Virtual Fighter 5's gameplay, right? All you guys do is copy this game, man. You guys, this is the 3D pinnacle of all fighting games, right? And now we're going to see another evolution in regards to that. And they're probably doing it for the casuals. They just want to throw out a traditional fighting game. They wanted casuals also to jump on board with this, while probably also maintaining some form of competitive element, no different than Street Fighter 6. And this is what we're getting.
It looked to me like this could be an actual game, like with actual fights and exploration and stuff. And I'll be honest, the fighting itself does look fantastic. So to me, this is...
It better look fantastic. Aren't you a Sega fan?
As a person that never played a Virtual Fighter outside of like...
What? You a Sega fan and you ain't never played a Virtual Fighter game? What? Bruh. You what? You know what? Hold on. I can't.
It's exploration and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be honest, the fighting itself does look fantastic.
Nice. That's good.
This is what it's for. As a person that never played a Virtual Fighter outside of like playing in the Yakuza game.
How you gonna call yourself a Sega fan and say I haven't played a Virtual Fighter game besides within a Yakuza game? What? Are you kidding me, bro? I thought Sega fan, I thought I was gonna be rejoicing with this man. Oh yeah, nope. Oh, you know, you out here treating Virtual Fighter like it's...
Chicken, no, not chicken, buffalo. You ain't see me say buffalo wings?
Trash, dog. Dude, ain't this guy named Dreamcast guy? I swear, didn't the Dreamcast have Virtual Fighter 3 TV? Yo, what we doing, man? Yo, come on, man. Change the name, dog. Take the hat off, man. Take the hat off. I'm tired of looking at that swirl on this man's head, man. You know, every time I think of that, I just think of a swirl, a dookie going down in the toilet and you just gotta flush it. I can't believe this.
This looks legit. So many good days, man. So many good days.
Yeah, third party though. I mean, yeah, another game that Switch 2's missing out. Let's keep it a buck. Oh, but it don't matter. Nintendo, the market leader. They selling 17, 19 mil. Listen, Nintendo about to get left behind. I'm keeping it 100. Nintendo better get things going, man. They better start pushing, because listen, I'm not downplaying Nintendo. Y'all know I gave credit where it's due. But I'm saying, with the way this is looking, Nintendo might be losing the overall audience. Oh, but they gon' buy it for that. Go, keep coming up with these excuses. Keep coming up with them, because Star Fox 64 3D, what is it? Remake ain't doing cutting it for me. After seeing this, Nintendo gonna have to do more. Y'all like, what? Nintendo, no. By the end of this year, Nintendo gonna have to do more. They have to do more. They're gonna have to push their exclusive. We're gonna have to see the new Zelda. We're gonna have to see the new Mario, because everybody else is pumping out games. You feel me? This whole Star Fox remake and Splatoon Raiders is lazy now. As of right now, Nintendo was pushing up the envelope with software. Now it's lazy, because look at what everybody else is getting. Oh, but that's because it doesn't matter. These are games that you're not being able to play though. Why would I? You know what I'm saying? The shift is turning. Like, I'm loving my Switch 2 right now, but when that Helix come out, it might be a forgotten platform. Nintendo is going to have to push the envelope, especially if you're missing out on a lot of these third-party titles. You're missing out on a lot. And you Nintendo fanboys can say, oh, you know, we don't care about them, but even Harmon Smith is buying these game keys. So cut it out. Cut it out. At the end of the day, the Switch 2 is going to look more like a complementary device than a main platform. Let's keep it moving, shall we? Now look at this. Another game that's not coming to the Switch. Another game. Bro, we barely have even got into the next generation of consoles, and the Switch 2 has already been forgotten. They're not even planning on porting any of these games. You guys keep saying Xbox is dead, but yet Xbox is getting more third party than the Switch 2. I mean, that TMT game is gonna be fire, bro. The Last Ronin. Hopefully it's a mature rated TMT. That was looking pretty crazy. And an Alien Isolation 2? Yikes. Yet again, no Switch 2 release, man. Listen, man, who knows, man? I'm gonna have to focus on making videos on the Nintendo fanboys because, oh, but you giving more credit to Sony for third party. It doesn't matter. I'm looking at it from games. That is the perspective of what I'm looking at, okay? I'm being genuine with this. At the end of the day, the Switch 2 is gonna have to start pumping out more now. You know, they set the foundations, they will push it out more software than anybody. I've said that. I said it's been Xbox, Nintendo, and, well, you know, obviously it's third party, but you guys get my drift in regards to the platform holders and Sony. And it's still in that order. But Sony, with these third party games coming over, is putting it above Nintendo, which means that Nintendo is going to have to do what Sega did during the Sega Genesis and start pushing the envelope with their own games. They're going to have to do that. Remember when Sega couldn't get some third-party games and Sega's like, okay, we don't got a Mega Man, but we'll make a Vector Man. Or we don't got this, we don't have a Ninja Gaiden, but we'll have a Shinobi instead. Nintendo's going to have to work on this strategy because if Nintendo is going to do this, then the Switch 2 is going to be forgotten. The Switch 2 is going to be it's gonna be the choo-choo train that never could. All right, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Nintendo's doing good right now, but they need what you guys are not understanding. It's the momentum. I was hyping up Switch 2, and now I'm like, hold on, PS5, Xbox looking far better. It looked like I want to reside here. I want to go on this. You feel me? I own all platforms, so I'm not completely gonna miss out on anything. But at the same time, Switch 2 is not a main platform. It's just a main platform for right now. And crazy thing is, once Sony and Microsoft, which is third party of course, builds up that momentum, Switch 2 is gonna be forgotten in my household. And I'm not even gonna play it anymore. And I don't want to feel like that with Nintendo. I don't want to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So Nintendo needs to fix the game key strategy. You need to focus on physical media, right? There's a lot of collectors out there that still do enjoy. Focus on that market. Because right now, Nintendo's getting chewed alive from this third party. And all the Nintendo, oh, but we don't need it. Oh, now, what does that sound like? The PlayStation fanboy excuse. Oh, you do need it. And if you don't need it, then you need to tell Nintendo to step it up. We need to see that Zelda. Not no remake, Ocarina of Time. We need to see a legit Zelda. Not no Star Fox remake. We need to see a legit Star Fox. Instead of a Splatoon Raiders, we need to see a Splatoon 4. Let's keep it 100. They're like, damn, games. Exactly. Because as a gamer, I expect more. You know what I'm saying? And then we gotta wait for what Microsoft coming out. Bro, this is getting crazy. And you know what I mean? This is getting crazy. PS5 and Xbox looking good. Right now, the Switch 2's looking bad. Right now, currently, I'm keeping it 100. I told you guys I've enjoyed it, but you guys know me. When I see things, I'll tell you when I feel the changes. I'll tell you when I feel the shift. I'm not a fanboy to anything. I'm just saying the Switch 2 is looking real obsolete right now. Y'all barely even got games that was originally planned for your platform. PS5, third party or not, they getting more games than you, bro. It's so funny. I thought this was going to be a PlayStation video, and I'm making it into a Nintendo one. Because I'm telling you, Nintendo ain't doing it, man. The only thing Nintendo can pray for is if PlayStation raise the price and the Xbox raise the price again. Because right now, it's looking real bad. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, man, it is what it is, bro. But the Summer Games Fest was awesome, and we can't wait to see what Xbox got for us tomorrow. Take care. Peace out.